Hello, thank you for joining us. In this lesson, we discuss navigating around QuickBooks Online, presented by Star Taxes, LLC. My name is Anita Tucker, and I am the CEO of Star Taxes and function as bookkeeper, tax preparer, and business consultant. Based in Benbrook, Texas, I am a certified online QuickBooks Pro Advisor, an authorized IRS e-file provider, as an electronic returns originator, transmitter, and service provider. I have several years of experience in the bookkeeping industry and over 17 years of experience in the tax preparation industry. I have spoken on tax topics such as why should we file our taxes each year, and what tax changes should we know about this year. And I consider my clients as individuals and small business owners within the United States who seek my expertise in QuickBooks Online and skill in customizing QuickBooks usage for various industries. I hold a certificate of certification in business accounting from CCI Training Center, and I am an annual filing season program participant with the IRS. I can be reached at anita.tucker@startaxesllc.com or 682-208-3131. Okay, and before we go into the navigating around QuickBooks Online, I would like to go over some best practices with when using QuickBooks Online. I would like to give you a few browser tips that hopefully is going to make you give you the ability to navigate more quickly and freely through the QuickBooks. And these tips are based on Google Chrome's browser, but many of them work in other browsers. So first, you want to go ahead and log into your QuickBooks Online company. Okay. And right-click on your browser. Left-click duplicate. Okay, and now you have two tabs logged into the same QuickBooks Online company. So pull one tab out of the window. And now you can work in QuickBooks Online on two different screens side by side. Okay, and you can work on these two windows independently of each other and repeat as needed. So you can work on your home page here and then select the customer center here. And if you need additional screens, then just repeat the step. Right click on your browser, left click duplicate, and there you have your third tab that you can pull out of the window. And this time let's select Chart of Accounts. Okay, so now we have Chart of Accounts, Customers, and the home page. Now, Chrome allows you to create different users, and to do that, you would need to click on Customize, Setup, Settings, and go to the People section and click Add Person, and then you just follow the prompts to complete the setup. Okay, and if you have two different QuickBooks Online companies, you can log into each of them using a different Chrome user and operate each account simultaneously, or you can log in using two different browsers such as Chrome and Firefox. And if you have special screens that you use regularly, you can create a folder on the Chrome bookmark bar and bookmark those screens and save in the folder. So this is your bookmark bar, and if you have special tabs that you use on a regular basis, then you can bookmark those tabs here, which is more convenient. And the way that you would do that is, if you wanted to bookmark a chart of accounts, then you would just click on the star and make sure that the bookmarks bar folder is already selected and click done, and then you have your chart of accounts here. And the home page is already bookmarked. So if you want to add the customers tab to the bookmark, then again click star, make sure bookmarks bar folder is selected, and click done, and there's your customer. So now you can navigate to those pages freely just by clicking. And as you can see, this gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility in moving around. As long as you're logged into your QuickBooks Online account, when you click on these tabs, then those screens will pop up for you. Okay, and another browser option is you can right click the back arrow on the browser to display a recent history of the screens you were on previously, and you just left click the one you want to return to. So let's click customers, left click, and resume working. Okay, and another point, if you are getting unexpected results from working in QuickBooks Online or are having problems logging in, make sure to clear your cache and your cookies in Chrome. And to do that, you would click on Customize and History, History again, and click. You would click on Clear Browsing Data, and you can clear data from the beginning of time, from the 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, or 4 weeks. You have some options there, so you can go back as far as you need to go or you desire to go. And also you can, by selecting the options here, you can choose what information that you want to clear. And then once you have all the information selected that you desire, then go ahead and click on the Clear Browsing Data to clear your cache. Okay, and the last browser tip that I'm going to show you is to the zoom in and out. And to do that, you would press the Control key and then the plus key. Just press it as many times as you need. And to zoom back out, then you would press the Control key again and then press the minus key to zoom back out. Okay? Now, these browser functionalities work best in a Chrome browser, and is useful because many accounting professionals use 2 and sometimes 3 monitors. Internet Explorer also allows the user to right-click on a tab and select duplicate. Other browsers, namely Firefox and Safari, do not necessarily have the ability to select duplicate by right-clicking a tab. However, it is possible to highlight the entire URL of the tab, like so, and then right-click and select copy, and then open a new tab in the same browser and right-click and select paste or paste and go, depending on the browser being used. In this case, in our case, we do have both options, so I'm going to press paste and go. Okay, and there you go. So this option works the same as right-clicking and pressing duplicate. It does the same thing. So you have that option no matter what browser you're in. It's just a matter of what steps you need to take depending on what browser. Okay, and all the browsers that I mentioned here do feature the ability to drag a tab off to open in another separate instance of a browser window. Okay, so now we're ready to go into our lesson today, navigating around QuickBooks Online. So let me go ahead and close out some of these screens. Okay, and let me delete these. Okay. Okay, so when you log into QuickBooks Online, the home page is the first screen that appears. The top of the screen shows the name of the QuickBooks Online company, and in this case it's Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. Okay, let me see if I can open this up just a little bit more. Hopefully we can see it a little bit better. Okay, and zoom in just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Okay, and so notice there is an income bar here on the home page showing you the open invoices and which invoices are overdue, as well as the invoices that have been paid in the last 30 days. Okay, and further down the home page there is an expense graph giving you a breakdown of the types of expenses, and here we have maintenance and repair, cost of goods sold, legal and professional job expenses, and everything else. Okay, and as you scroll down, QuickBooks combines the income and expenses and lets you see a chart related to your profit and loss. So you have your income versus your expenses, giving you your net income. And as you hover over any of the sections in these graphics, you will get more information about that section, and you can drill down to get either a detailed report related to totals or to an actual transaction. So let's just click on legal and professional fees, and that's going to take us to the transaction report and gives you more detailed information as far as the vendor or the customer. And if you click on the transaction, then it goes you drill down even further, which gives you a little bit more information. And here we have the amount, we have the account that it was applied to, and the date, However, it doesn't have much detail here. That's why I like to, because if you notice here, you're able to attach a document to your transaction, and I like this feature here. And what I try to do is to attach the receipts here. So that's what I would do. I would go ahead and add a receipt there, and so that it would be here for reference, because your receipt is going to have more detailed information. Is more of a detailed description. So if at all possible, you want to make sure that you attach a receipt to your transactions. Okay, so let's go back, and on the right hand side we have on the home page there's a listing of banking and credit card balances, and if these accounts are connected with the banks, you get information as to the current bank or credit card balances versus the QuickBooks Online balance for each account. As you can see, there's a bank balance and a QuickBooks balance for each account: checking, savings, and MasterCard. In addition, it also shows how many transactions have been downloaded and have not been matched or entered into QuickBooks Online. So for your checking here, in this instance, we have 25 transactions that have been downloaded but still need to be matched or entered into the QuickBooks Online. So we have a few items here that needs our attention. So we have 25 items for the checking, 1 for the savings, and 7 for the MasterCard. So it acts as a reminder to review the bank fees on a timely basis, and you'll learn more about the banking center later in this training. Okay, and on the lower right of the home page is a listing of activities that need your attention right here, and such as tax payments that are due. You can also see a listing of transactions that have been added, listed by date. This area can be filtered for a particular type of transaction, which is helpful. For example, if a customer calls and you easily want to find an invoice that you recently created. Okay, so if you want to find an invoice, just click on invoices and it will bring up the most recent invoices. You can look up estimates, payments, and expenses. Okay, and at the top of the screen is a switch called private mode, and when you turn on private mode, QuickBooks basically hides all the financial numbers on the screen to protect this sensitive information from anyone walking by your computer. And as you notice, the figures have disappeared, and which, you know, this is really helpful if you're working in QuickBooks Online and you're in a public place such as an airport or a coffee shop. Okay, and on the left hand side of any QuickBooks Online company is the Navigator Bar. You will learn more about this as you go through the module. Okay, and because the home page automatically opens when you open up QuickBooks Online, it directs the small business owner to review key metrics here about their business, as well as alerts them to import upcoming tasks. So this is a good thing. Too often some businesses enter transactions but don't really look at their results until tax time. which, that could be, which it could be too late. Okay, so now we're going to look at the Customer Center. The Customer tab on the navigation bar opens the Customer Center. So you just click on that. And the Money bar is a visual representation of the unbilled estimates and time and expenses, receivables, including overdue invoices, as well as invoices paid in the last 30 days. And you can drill down on any color. Okay. Any color block of the Money bar to get the underlying list, and ultimately to transactions for reviewing, editing, and deleting. So as you can see, a list comes up for each colored block. And if you want to drill down into the transactions, then you just click on the name, and then you get a list of transactions for that client or customer, and then you can click on the transaction and drill down. So okay, so that's how that works. And the new customer button creates a new customer. Okay, so let's go back. So this is the new customer button. It creates a new customer in the Customer Center as opposed to creating one on the fly in the customer field of a transaction, which you can always do that as well. And the way that you would do that is if you were to create an invoice and you type in the client or customer, okay, and as you can see, nothing's coming up, so we can add, and then you want to click on details, and then you get the same screen, and you can add your customer there. Okay. Okay, and you can also click on the drop down next to the new customer and choose to import customers here. The visible columns of the Customer Center can be set by selecting the gear icon in the top right hand corner of the customer list above the action column here to show the address and or the email columns. So click address, you get your address or email. Okay. As well as how many rows of the center to display on a page. So you can change that to 50, 150, 300. So we're going to put it back at 150. Okay, and whether or not to include inactive customers. So you can choose that. And this setting is sticky, which means that the next time you open the Customer Center, QuickBooks Online will remember your preference. So whatever selections you make here, the next time you log in, QuickBooks will remember that. Okay, so click on the customer name to view or edit the profile information. So you can edit here. Okay, or just view the information. You can see a listing of transactions or create new transactions. So this is your transaction list, or you can create a new transaction, and these are your options, different types of transactions here. And clicking on the envelope icon next to a customer names in the Customer Center, it launches your native email client to send them an email. Okay. And above the customer list, you can easily find a customer by typing in their name or just part of the name in the search. So let's do Duke. Okay, and there you go. Okay, you can sort the customer list or a transaction list for a customer. If you've clicked on the customer name or a color block of the money bar, forwards and backwards by several perimeters, simply by clicking on the column header for that perimeter, either once or twice to specify forward or backwards. So here, okay, there you go. Okay, and that's how that works. Now, once in the transaction list, okay, so you can clear filter to go back. And once in the transaction list for a customer, or if you clicked on open invoices or overdue invoices in the money bar, create invoices, receive payments, send a reminder, or print a statement for an individual customer under the action columns. Okay, so receive payment, create invoice, these are your action columns. Create invoice, send a reminder, receive payment, start invoice. So clicking on a hyperlink for pending invoices takes you to those invoices. So pending invoices, hyperlink, okay. Okay, and that's how that works. You can perform batch actions related to statements and email for more than one customer by clicking on the appropriate customers in the Customer Center and choosing from the Batch Actions drop-down menu. So customers, and you can select as many customers that you need, and you drop down, you can create statements, a batch of statements, or a batch email. Okay, so next is the Vendor Center. The Vendor tab on the navigation bar opens the Vendor Center. Okay, and it is very similar to the Customer Center, except it's related to vendors, not customers. And the money bar relates to potential expenses, open purchase orders, unpaid and overdue bills, as well as what has been paid in the last 30 days. So if you click on any of these color blocks, QuickBooks will display the underlying list of transactions that pertain to that section for reviewing, editing, and or deleting. And although you can always create a new vendor on the fly in transactions by simply typing a new vendor name in the vendor field, the new vendor button in the Vendor Center also allows you to create a new vendor. So here, okay, and again, whenever you create a transaction, you can also create the vendor as well. So here, okay, they're not there, so click Add, Details, and you get the same screen. Okay. Okay, and if you click on the drop down next to the new vendor, of course you can import vendors here. The Prepare 1099s button allows you to, you guessed it, prepare 1099s. Okay, and note that 1099s are available only in QuickBooks Online Plus. Also note that accounts payable is available only in QuickBooks Online Essentials and Plus. Okay, otherwise the editing columns, individual transactions, batch transactions, email, and viewing the vendor work, they work the same as what we just saw in the Customer Center. Okay. Okay, so the transaction tabs, there are 4 ways to enter transactions in the transaction tab of the left Navigator bar. So you have banking, sales, or expenses. And banking. This opens up the banking center. And if you have connected your bank and or credit card accounts to QuickBooks, you'll see those accounts listed across the top of the page and a listing of transactions that need to be either matched or added to QuickBooks. So here, either add or match to QuickBooks, and you will learn about that in topic 4 of this training. Okay, so sales. This opens up the sales center where there is a sales money bar that shows potential revenue, unpaid overdue invoices, and what has been paid in the last 30 days. Okay, as opposed to the customer center, which shows a customer list, the sales center shows a listing of transactions that can easily be filtered. Okay. New transactions can be easily added from the top of the screen here. The action column shows suggested next steps as well as other choices related to that transaction in the drop down menu. Okay. Okay, and as in the other centers, you can check multiple transactions and perform batch actions of printing or sending. Okay. Expenses. Here is a listing of recent expense transactions, which, like the other centers, can be easily filtered. Okay, here. And click on the transaction to get back to the original transaction. Okay. And the types of transactions that can be entered from here are bills, expense, check, purchase order, and vendor credit. And you can also print checks from this screen. Okay. Okay, and your chart of accounts. Here you see a listing of your general ledger accounts. You can double click on the account. Okay. Or, one moment, you can click on View Register to open the register for any balance sheet account with the exception of retained earnings. So if you click on the drop down in the top left corner of the register, You can add many types of transactions that affect a bank account, such as check, deposits, sales receipt, receipt payment, bill payment, refund, expense, transfer, and journal entry. The types of transactions that are available from the drop-down will vary depending on the type of balance sheet account being viewed in the register. If you click on the drop-down next to the View Register, okay, transactions, let's go back. Okay, and you can edit the account, you can delete the account, and actually you're not actually deleting it, you're making it inactive, and you can also run a report. Okay, and to summarize, the navigation bar is in general, and the transaction tab specifically, are places to go to enter transactions. However, there is one other place to launch all transactions, and we're going to cover it next. Okay, so let's go home. Okay, and the quick create icon is at the top of the page. Okay, so it's the plus key that spins in an X when you click on it. And this is your one-stop shop for creating new transactions. There are two views of the quick create. Okay, there is a condensed view that just lists all transactions in QuickBooks sorted by the different areas of the company, customers, vendors, employees, and others. Okay, and the other view is show more view that lists all transactions in QuickBooks sorted by the different areas of the company, customers, vendors, employees, and other. Okay, so you have just covered navigating QuickBooks Online, and this course has been developed to help you to use QuickBooks Online successfully. By completing this module, you should understand best practices in QuickBooks Online and how to navigate around QuickBooks Online. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining. If you need to reach out to me, if you have any questions, again, you can reach me at anita.tucker@startaxesllc.com or 682-208-3131. Thank you and have a great day.